I think a couple things. One of the things that I'm proud of is just the history of the company. It's over 100 years old. We've been making the HIT product line for over 20 years, shipping it commercially for over 20 years. And then at this show, we're showing sort of the next evolution of our technology, which is storage with a smart inverter, with a flexible battery system. So now not only do you have the solar component with a really upstanding company and a warranty, which we've seen, some companies have disappeared, we're still here, and happy to say that we are. And then, the newer technology, which is the battery and storage technology, which actually marries well with our solar technology. Now we moved to integrated modules, so you can buy the module with an N-phase inverter already fitted to it. So I think that's currently keeping us really busy in the beginning of 2020.
So the next question is it supposed to be installed indoors, outdoors? What is the
Are we talking about the storage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this system is going to be installed in a conditioned environment, so indoors. It's NEMA 1 rated, so that's what we advise, and with the operating temperatures of the battery, we think that's the best solution.
And then the hardware warranty that you have on it, how long and what kind of warranty do you have?
Yeah, so it's a Panasonic backed warranty, so the entire system, the battery, the electronics, warranted for 10 years from Panasonic. And it's also a full system is 45.3 megawatt hours. So we warranty on throughput. We think that's more valuable than cycle counts because cycle counts can vary so widely. So if you kind of do the math on it, it's longer than most of the other companies that are out there, and it's very competitive.
Very nice. So how many usable kilowatts per hour does the system actually save?
So there's the way we're selling it, and you can customize it, but there's three kind of standard sizes. There's a 5.7 kilowatt hour, there's 11.4, that'd be 4 batteries, so it starts at 2 batteries, 4 batteries, and then the 6 battery system is 17.1 kilowatt hours. And then if somebody needs more power than that, on the DC coupled side, they can stack up to 3 systems. Today on the AC coupled side, one inverter can handle up to 6 batteries, so you could actually do 34 kilowatt hours AC coupled. But on the solar side, you can only fit 6,500 watts per inverter. So that's kind of the rough system specs. And we have a data sheet that explains all that. It's both up on our website, and we're here handing them out as well. With the inverter specifications and also the battery specifications. Yeah, so the version we have right here, the color black just denotes that it's a DC coupled system. The best use case for this would be a new customer. So they're only going to need this inverter. They could take 2 strings of modules, wire it directly to the inverter, and connect it to the battery, and they're all done. That's the least expensive and the highest efficient route. However, a lot of people still want to use a SolarEdge or an N-phase inverter, or they already have an N-phase inverter or SolarEdge system. In that case, you would use an inverter that looks identical to that, but it's white, and that's our AC coupled system. So AC coupled system means we're just going to take the AC feed out of an existing inverter, so it's already done the DC to AC conversion, and then we're going to bring that into an inverter that looks very similar to this, and then send it on down the line to the battery and onto the loads. So what's important to note is that we do both an AC and a DC coupled version, and you can have more than one battery on each system.
And so the max AC, is it coupling that?
Yeah, so today, if you had an existing system, if you installed somebody, if it's 6,500 watts or less, it'll connect to our inverter, no problem. If it's more than that, you have a couple of options. One is some inverters, like from SMA and Fronius and others, have something called frequency shifting, which allows them to shed a little bit of that load. We can only accept 6,500 watts, so if you have a big system like 10 kilowatts, your options are twofold. One is you can just get a second inverter, which is fine, we can do that. The second option is you could only wire part of the solar panel to the battery and land the rest of it on a sub panel or on the main. So there's a couple flexible ways to deal with it, but the inverter itself is a 5,500 watt inverter.
Does it connect to a generator?
Yes.
All the power shutdown?
Yes, it does. So it's kind of hard to see in the frame, but if you look at the base of the inverter, there's an auxiliary input, and you can be used for other things, but we use the auxiliary input to connect it to a generator. So we currently you can use it with any generator, but what we recommend is a split phase generator, which is most of the modern ones on the market. It can actually send the signal if it's got auto start capability built in. So if the generator has auto start, we can send the signal to turn it on and turn it off. And you have a couple of options in terms of wiring. You can have the generator wired to just charge the batteries, or you can have the generator wired to power loads. If you're creative enough, you could actually have it do both. But we have a generator kit that is sold separately, so you don't have to bear that expense unless you need it. But we're seeing a lot of demand in Northern California and in the foothills, and even in the Bay Area for people that are worried about longer outages, where particularly if you have a smaller storage system, you're trying to save money, it might not be big enough to back you up for 2 or 3 days or a week. And in that case, having the generator connectivity is really critical.
Does it qualify for, is it SGIP?
SGIP, yes.
Or tax credit?
Yeah, I was talking with a gentleman earlier. So our system does qualify. One of the qualifiers for SGIP is that you have to be able to charge 100% from solar, and ours does that. So you can charge from the grid as well, but it's capable of charging 100% from solar. That's what SGIP wants. The current rebate, I think, is in step 2. It's around $3,000 or $4,000, depending on the size of the system. But the benefit for the customer, if you look at the ITC tax credit, which we all know dropped, but it's still 26%, and you add that to SGIP, a $15,000 system, I mean, you're still, you're going to get several $1,000s, potentially half of it paid for through incentives, which in California would be the ITC tax credit and SGIP. We also have a partner that is going to help our installers with the rebate, because I don't know if you've ever done one, but from not hearing super positive things from people doing the SGIP rebate. So we have a solution for that where you can just pay a flat fee. It's pretty reasonable, I think, and this company will handle all the rebates for you. So that's not released yet, but we're working on that. We should have something in the next 30 to 60 days to announce.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So first of all, we've been doing battery inverters for 20 years. So Outback Power was one of the first out there selling complete off-grid systems, right? So if you want power out in the middle of nowhere, on some mountaintop or out in the desert, like ours was the gear that you take. We're bringing that with the Skybox, we're bringing that to suburbia, right? So now we're applying that kind of robust design topology to residential homes that are in areas where they have the grid, but then suddenly they don't. What do you do, right?
Well, that's good. Yeah. So is it designed to be outdoor or indoor?
So the Skybox is a NEMA 3R package, so you can mount it outside if you like. Whether you do or not is going to depend on A, do you have available space, and B, is the battery that you're using also outdoor rated? But that's usually the harder thing to find.
And then the hardware warranty, how does that work?
So this is available with a standard 5-year warranty. For certain incentive programs, then we'll do 10. It just depends on the situation.
And then how many usable kilowatts per hour does this?
So this is a 5 kilowatt system. It's fully symmetrical. It's 5 kilowatts in any direction, right? So you can put a 10 kilowatt generator on here. If you want to do that, say there's no solar for whatever reason, you put a 10 kilowatt generator on there, you can power the loads, charge the batteries, turn the generator off, and then you're running off your battery for however long you need to, and you do that again. So it's not like some systems where, oh, it's 5 kilowatts charging, but only 3 kilowatts discharging, or vice versa. No, it's 5 kilowatts all the way around. So you can put up to 7 kilowatts of PV on it, and then it'll 5 kilowatts charging, 5 kilowatts of loads, whatever you like.
And then does this
SGIP?
Yep.
So they're changing the SGIP requirements. We're working with program administrators to make sure we're on the equipment list. But yeah, Skybox will be our primary product for that program.
And then does it currently connect to like the current PV?
Yeah, so if you're retrofitting, I'm going to do a whole talk on this in a little bit. If you're retrofitting, you got 2 options. You can move the array to the 600 volt input here, or you can AC couple. If you have an inverter that's already meets the Rule 21 grid support requirements, You can go up to 7.6 kilowatt inverter with a 5 kilowatt skybox and it'll work fine.
Because of all the power, so this is supposed to be, does it work with like generators?
You put your generator right here, up to 10 kilowatts, just as fine. And it's not particularly finicky, so I mean, you don't want to like totally cheap out on your generator, but you don't have to get a top of the line one either.
Can your product be AC coupled?
Yes, I'm going to do a whole presentation on that real soon.
Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Pack. I'm the Western Regional Manager for Everest Solar Systems, a K2 company. And we actually, here at Everest, what we do is we manufacture roof attachments for commercial, residential, and mixed format solar installations. Our key product that we bring to market is actually what's called our Crossrail system. As you can see here, I've got the Crossrail system on its tilt application. But the best part about the Crossrail system is that you can do commercial and residential installs with it. And you can also do two applications, which are pretty new to the industry, which is called shared rail. And what we do with shared rail is instead of using 2 rails per row, a lot of you installers out here will know that, you use 2 rails per row on a standard installation. With the Everest Crossrail system, you can actually use 1.5 rails, which means I can put 1 rail here in the front row, and then I'll share the rail between the second row. This actually reduces material consumption at the job site by 20% to 25%. So get in touch with Everest at everestsolarsystems.com, or you can call us on our main number. My name is Nick Pack, and thank you very much.
It's a great question. So right now, the existing product is this guy. This is called SolarEdge. We make 2 versions, a 7.6 kilowatt and a 3.8 kilowatt. What makes us a little bit better than the rest is we are DC coupled for more overall energy. So you suffer fewer inversion losses when using that solar energy after it was stored in a battery. Yes, we can do AC coupling. You may lose AC coupling during backup with this product. You may lose AC coupling during backup, but our new product, the backup interface, you'll be able to do AC and DC coupling.
And the max AC that you can get from it?
The max AC rating with SolarEdge today is 7.6. With our new storage HD wave inverter that's coming out very soon, you'll be able to get 11.4 kilowatts AC. That's a great question. So I always get that all the time. Does it work with a generator? So yes and no. And I'm going to start with the no first. So today, if you were to integrate a generator, you just need to separate the inverter electrically from the generator. So if the generator is on, we don't want the inverter connected to it. Because if the generator pushes power to the inverter, you could damage electronics in the inverter. And conversely, if the inverter pushes power to the generator, you could damage components in the generator. So electrically isolated from one another. However, our new backup interface that's going to be available in a week or so, it has support for a generator, and you'll be able to integrate up to a 15 kilowatt generator, and we will control the generator. Yep, so it's DC coupled. You use our power optimizers underneath every single solar panel. That wires down to this guy. So you can connect up to 10,260 watts to this inverter. And then with our new inverter, the HD Wave, at 11.4 kilowatts, you can connect up to 14.3 kilowatts DC. You can do either or. So this is NEMA 3R rated, so it's rated for outdoor use. So you can do indoor or outdoor. Sure, the usable kilowatt hour rating is going to come from the battery bank. So the battery that we partnered right now is the LG Chem with the Resu 10H. It's a 9.8 kilowatt hour battery, the depth of discharge of 95%. So that your usable kilowatt hours is 9.3 kWh. And when it's discharging, you get 5 kilowatts of continuous energy and then 7 kilowatts of peak, so for 10 seconds. Yeah, so the warranty on this guy is standard warranty is 12 years. On our optimizers, it's 25 years. You can extend the warranty if you should so choose to 25 years. Thank you so much.
Well, we're a lithium iron phosphate battery, so from a chemical standpoint, we're the safest compound. You know, we've got a 550 degree thermal range, whereas cobalt they're going to be right around that 160, 165 degrees, where they're going to start coming into issues. We're at 550. The bars that connect all of our individual cells per UL, they're rated 165 degrees. So we have a 550 degree rating on our cells. So essentially, each one of the connecting bars in ours, it almost act like a fuse, because we're never going to get to that next one. We're not going to propagate unless it's some exterior event. You know, but as far as propagating from cell to cell to cell, we're never going to, because if one cell gets to the 550, the top, it'll release a non-toxic, non-flammable gas, so it keeps it from swelling, but we won't go into thermal runaway. So from a safety standpoint, that's really where we separate ourselves. We're a marathon runner, we're not a sprinter. You know, so we're not going to be that big, heavy discharge. We like that 1C, nice, smooth discharge, but we're also, going to be a 10-year battery. We are UL 1973 listed, not just tested to the standard. So every single component in here is UL as well. So we don't have any potential points of weakness and failure. So that's another thing that separates us. So we're going to have an internal battery management system that's going to go down, that's going to monitor down to the cell pack level, right? And then we're at the control side, that master controller. So we're going to discharge all of our cells evenly. And then there's a master controller that via CAN bus, they're going to communicate all of the modules, and then these will all discharge in unison as well. So you don't have any one taking that brunt of the hit. And that's how we're able to get up to our 10-year warranty. Yes, we can stack these. These can go up to 1,000 volts, and then we can go out to the multi-megawatt range. So we can do either. If we're going to do them outdoor, we need a NEMA rated housing, and we do provide a NEMA rated housing for various sizes, going all the way from our smallest system would be a 30 kilowatt, 60 kilowatt hour system, very small system, and then we go all the way up to, in a 40-foot container, we're getting right about 3.5 megawatt hours. Yes, we have a 10-year warranty, and then we also offer an extended 10-year performance warranty that's back through Geneva. And so we have a performance warranty where we will warranty that this module will produce X amount of kilowatt hours over the life cycle of the product.